motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Some of the stuff on the mannequin, like I told you I would. I'll show you the way that we cut for the diagonal back shifted cut. So she's not parted in the middle, and I don't have my combs inside. I just brought the mannequins with me. So the way you start is the same as any other cut. You do the 4 sections, and you part it out and whatnot, and then you take your sections. So for the shifted diagonal back, you would take the hair like you normally would. You comb it. Well, you'd have your parting, and you comb it perpendicular to your parting. So if this parting goes like this, perpendicular, you're just making a T. So this would be a T to there. But let's say, I really should have brought my comb inside. I have a different comb somewhere. We'll use this one. So, let's see. Your parting to go backwards would be like a V, whereas the parting to go diagonal forward is like a teepee. So I'll just comb out a section for you guys, if I can. Should be obviously doing this with shears in my hand, but I'm not going to do that. And I don't have clips either, so I know I'm very lazy recently. So let's see if I can show you guys this. See, it's kind of like slanted backwards. So you want it perpendicular to the parting. That makes a T. You take the hair down. That's where it's combed perpendicular. And that's the shifting forward. So this is diagonal shifted back. Even though we're shifting towards the face, it's diagonal back shifted, I guess, would be the most appropriate way to say it. So because this is diagonal, we're working diagonal back. Your fingers, even though your combing is perpendicular to your parting, your fingers are still parallel to your parting. So my fingers are still angled backward. And then you cut the hair from there. Zero projection, too, unless you're doing a graduated cut. So that's that with this one. Now, as I said before, with the diagonal forward cuts, this isn't a diagonal forward cut, by the way, what you're looking at on this mannequin. This is a graduated cut. It might still be a little diagonal forward because I might not have taken enough length out, but she told me I did it right, so I have some faith in my teachers telling me correct. I didn't blow it out too well either, but it's whatever. It's not, people get better as you go. So, I will show you a parting that we do for this. When we get to the ears, things always change too. You'll learn all this stuff when you actually go through the hair cutting. As I said, if you have any questions, you can always email me. You can comment on my videos, and I'll respond to you, and I'll let you know if I know the answer or whatnot. So, let's say you have this section, right? So, it would be the same thing. You want, okay, you're not going to be able to see the parting on there, so I'll part it up further. So remember, the partings are supposed to look like a teepee, so they're going up into each other. So we'll get her hair to stay like that. You can kind of see that parting. I know it just looks like a spot, but I think you'll get the idea. So you do the same thing. You comb the hair down, and you try to get it into a T with your parting, but your fingers are parallel to your parting. So I know it's hard to see, but so my fingers would be angled down towards the face and up towards the back, and that is your diagonal forward shifted cut. We're shifting back, but we're cutting so the angle is going towards the front. That's where that comes from. Okay, and then the cut that we did today is the graduated, it's a graduated cut. It's a 45 wedge, it's a wedge cut, that's what they call it. It's a 45-degree cut or wedge cut. So, the back of the head, I know, I'm going to try to get the light, looks like this. You see, it's very like concentration of lengths right here. It's not all one length. It's graduated. Okay, so the way you do this cut is you start off, when you make your guides, you do the horizontal line first. And when you do a horizontal line, you cut palm down. So you're cutting with your palm facing the floor and your fingers are horizontal to the floor, like this. If I had my shears, they'd be going like that. And your palm's facing down, so like this. But then after that, you take the first section, and this is all cut in 1/4-inch sections. You'll do all the different sectionings for different haircuts when you go. But then again, if you have questions about certain things, you can ask me, and I'll tell you. So then you take the first section, which you just cut down to the length that the client wants at the horizontal, your solid line, and then you project it out at 45 degrees. And then when you project it, then you just cut palm to palm. So your palm's facing up and the scissors are going like this. So you're cutting like that. Your palm's facing your other palm with the comb. So the partings for this one, since it's one length, well, it's not one length because it's graduated, but it's not a diagonal forward, diagonal back, or whatever. They're horizontal partings. So if I'm going to take a small horizontal parting if I could do. It's a lot harder with dry hair too, I find, because we're used to sectioning wet hair, and I don't have any clips, so it's difficult. But I can show you the basic idea of what we do. So you take your bottom layer, and you follow it very closely with the second layer that you come down. You project them both up at a 45-degree angle, and you follow your guideline. I know you can't see, maybe I come over here, and it'll just work like this. So if you project, say, even though there's many layers in here that you're dealing with different sections. Say this is your first section and this is your second section. You'd bring both of them up at a 45-degree angle, and you cut along your guideline using palm to palm though. Okay? And then when you're all done doing all the sections like that, you should end up with graduated lengths like this, because each time you're cutting like this, that hair's coming up a little, the bottom hair, whichever layer's on the bottom. Okay, you don't always use the first layer as your guide. On every other cut we've done, you use the bottom layer as your guideline. On this cut, it's different because it's graduated. You just use the layer that you cut previously, because if you were using the same guideline, it'll all be one length from there. It'll be this length, the bottom length would be longer, but everything else would be 45 degrees from that, but all the same length. So you have to use, it's a mobile guideline, I believe. So you have to make sure you're only using the layer that was right before it. So, and then if you make sure you do that, each layer will get a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter, so it gives that effect where it's not all one length. It's just a concentration of layers, but it's not a solid form haircut. It's a 90-degree wedge cut. So yeah, I stumbled over my words a little bit. I need to go study for my test. I have to blow out my sister's hair at 9:30 because I told her I would. And I have a lot of other practicing things I should probably do. We're supposed to give haircuts this weekend, even though we haven't finished haircutting. Miss Sue said it was a dumb idea that they assigned it, but my mom told me I could give her a trim anyway, so might as well. The sooner you get more comfortable working on real people, the better. So I'm going to try to work on all my friends as much as I can, because then when I start working on a stranger, it won't be as scary. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Motivation.